I gotta close it. Good morning, YouTube. So as you can tell, it's Friday, but it's overcast. It's been raining all week. Luckily, this is our slower week. So when the season first started, I pretty much divided all my yards evenly, or try to. And then then as the season goes on, um, there's some weeks like this week where we've been getting rain nonstop, so I'm having to push some jobs for the next week. And where I'm at now, one week we're doing about like, I don't know, like 32 properties, and then the next week we're doing like 17. So it's like kind of like all over the place. But luckily this week is my slower week. So we didn't work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we did 5, and then we got rained on. Yesterday we did 12, and we kind of like yesterday we started at 9 and we were done by like 4 because it was showing rain by 5. And then I just called it quits because it looks like it's gonna start raining. And then as soon as we got home, it started to pour, so it kind of worked out. That being said, today I only have 3 and I have to go give out a quote, so it should be a super short day, so I'll be able to blog and whatnot. But for this video, I kind of just want to go over some comments, and then this is just like a regular vlog. So I got my dad with me. There's no need for me to bring Jacob because, again, there's no point for him to drive an hour to my place and then only be able to give him like 2-3 hours worth of work. Honestly, probably like 2 hours. So it's just normally it's me by myself, but my dad wanted to tag along. But Boss Man mentioned how everyone does it their own way, and his best advice is just to do what works for me. And I agree. He seems like a very optimistic person, and I'm pretty much the same way. I am very optimistic. I think that everything's going to always work out, and it typically does. And even when it doesn't work out, or if I have my bad days, I know in the future it gets better as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Like you can say like, oh, I want more clients, or I want to be successful. I want to leave my 9-to-5 job, but yet you're smoking or drinking, or you're just on the couch all day looking at YouTube videos, on TikTok, Instagram, etc. Like you're not really doing the legwork, and you think it's gonna work out. Like that's not realistic. So I'm optimistic, but I also know that I need to kind of like back it up with work, or me putting some effort, doing little things, and then eventually, it does work out. So I agree. But yeah, everyone's different. I show you guys my pricing, or my prices, to kind of like give you an idea of what I'm pricing. And when I do that, I always get those comments saying like, oh, that's a $80 yard, $85 yard, or $100 yard, and I'm charging 60 or 65. But at the end of the day, I'm still making money. Could I go up in my pricing? I mean, always, but I'm just happy where I'm at. I'm just grateful. I'm happy. I enjoy doing this. I actually love doing what I do now. It's not really a job or a chore. Like, I look forward to doing this. And then at the end of the day, I am making way more money than what I was at my 9-to-5 manager job. But like always, I've said this before, it takes time. But say, for example, yesterday we did 12, but say, let's do 10. Say if I'm able to do 10 properties a day and I'm charging 65, I am bringing in $650 at the end of the day. And we started late because of the rain, so we were out from 9 to 4. So that's 7 hours to do 12 properties. And a lot of it was because of my route density. There's this one neighborhood where we're able to knock out like 7 properties like back to back to back now. Because I'm pretty much getting that whole cul-de-sac right now. There's still a lot of neighbors that hopefully, as they see me out there and they see me servicing their neighbors, they'll keep giving me a call and be like, hey, you service, you're my neighbor, can you come give me a quote, and etc. And my pricing is fair compared to other people. So it's kind of like a win-win situation. Like, I'm not driving around, I'm able to give them a deal. But even yesterday, when I went to talk to like a new neighbor, she was like, oh, she's like, oh, how much do you charge? And I was like, 65, since I'm already in the neighborhood and I already service like 5 of your neighbors. And right away she was like, well, she's like, we want to sign up, but how about 50? And I was like, no, ma'am. I was like, 65 is already kind of like a fair price. And I won't go lower than that. And she's like, okay, what about 55? I was like, no, ma'am. Okay, fine, 60, and sign us up. I was like, no, ma'am. I was like, call around. I was like, honestly, call around. I was like, I know that, for this size property, you'll get bids from 80 to 85, maybe even 100 a visit. I was like, 65, it's already like a discounted price because I'm already here, and it would just make sense for me to add you to my route. And it would just take us like 15 minutes on top, or 15 to 18 minutes on top of of everything. But I was like, you know what, call around, you got my number, you'll see me in the neighborhood, and then we can go from there. And right away she's like, no, fine, 65 is fine. So I am a little bit cheaper, but I also don't, I'm done shortchanging myself, because at the end of the day, I do want to make money, and I have my own expenses and whatnot. But I agree. Again, everyone's different. Not everyone's where I'm at. I'm not in it for the money anymore. Like, I already own a few things, and I just want to make decent money. But back to, I just remember where I was going. So say yesterday I made $650, right? Just roughly $650 off of 10 properties. And say with my expenses, say like 200, let's round up, let's say 250, and that includes, my labor and fuel and whatnot. So then what that leaves me with 400. And then I know, taxes, I know, but then, if you get a good CPA and you have a good bit of write-offs, which I typically do due to my rental properties, I'm having to pay very little or none at all. But yeah, so I'm yesterday, you could say I walked away with 400, not including taxes, and obviously like the wear and tear on your car, your mowers, etc. But that's why, save up for when something breaks. A month ago, I was telling you guys I got new tires. I still haven't got any new brakes because I still have like 40% of life. AC needed to be fixed. So I ended up spending like $1,000 on just repairs. And the season is just taking off right now, but it sucks, yes, but it needs to be done, or else it's just going to get worse and worse. But as long as you're happy, you shouldn't really compare yourself to other people. And I do understand that other people that are like, you got to raise your prices, they might come from a good place. And I've talked about this too. They probably just want to help me out, or want to help the guys that are watching this type of content to know what kind of pricing they are. Because obviously, I'm sure I'm not in the same boat as some of y'all, or I really don't care about money anymore. And it's not that because I have a lot by any means, but I'm just happy where I'm at. And it's like, that I'm in that happy spot where I'm still making decent money, and I'm able to keep my living costs very low. And I'm just happy, and that's all that matters. And I'm sure there's some guys that are doing this that hate doing this, and it's like, well, you're never, and that's why they charge more. They're like, if I'm gonna go out and do this job, I'm gonna charge an arm and a leg to make it worth it. And that kind of like justifies their misery, I guess, because they're killing it, which is fine too. But just do what works for you. So boss man is saying he's dealing with clients. Gotta get this weed out. There you go. Sorry. Boss man is saying he's dealing with clients that want to, are asking him to just service their property every 3 weeks. And he's asking if he should up the price. So, I'll put what I responded, but pretty much I told them it looks like you're still like a new lawn care company, and that's why you're dealing with these clients. And again, part of the process. but I kind of like told them my feedback. So I only offer weekly or bi-weekly services. That's all I offer. Just recently I had someone tell me, oh, do you stop? What if I do every 3 weeks? And my response was, well, I don't offer 3 weeks. I offer either weekly or bi-weekly, and kind of let him choose what, if he does want to sign up with my plan, what plan does he want to sign up with? But I get it. I was there a couple of years ago, dealing with these clients that are asking for every 3-week cuts. And what I would do is you definitely need to increase the prices. And here's what you got to do. You first have to stop giving them the option or giving them the impression that they can kind of run your business for you. And you kind of have to just snip it in the butt. So when they're like, oh, hey, can you skip us today? Just be like, yeah, I can skip you this visit, but just a heads up. If you do skip in one more service, I'll have to take you out of my schedule because it throws your schedule off. And just say, you're busy, even though you're not. Kind of like make yourself look busier than what you actually are, but they'll understand that at the end of the day, you are running a business. So I don't get to use the 36 that often, but when I do, I love it. As I was saying, you just want to make yourself a little bit busier and not let your, these clients walk all over you. But anyways, my response was pretty much, of course you need to increase the price for every 3 weeks, and you pretty much have to give them 2 options because I know you don't want to lose them as a client yet. So option 1 would be, do like a $30 price increase if they do want you to go every 3 weeks because your equipment, you're doing more damage to your equipment, you're using more fuel, it's taking you much longer. And then or option 2, go bi-weekly for the same price and then just let them decide what they want. Or just get rid of them. But again, I know because you're starting out, you depend on that job, even if it's once a month or every 3 weeks or whatnot. But unfortunately, it is what it is. Another option would be you bill monthly, and that would solve all of your problems or all of our problems. I'm leaning towards that at this moment, just because I am getting a little bit busier, and it is annoying kind of send like an invoice after each visit. So I'm going to start experimenting with new clients, billing at the beginning of the month, and we'll go from there and see where that takes us. But I know I'll lose potential clients because a lot of people don't want to do billing monthly. But I'm okay losing those potential clients or not landing them. And then lastly, Bossman is asking what shoe blocker do I recommend. So the 36 is the one I was using right now. That one has the quick shoot. Definitely recommend it over the one that I have on the 52. Let me go around on the 52. So they were both roughly around the same price. I think this one was like $500 and the other one was like $420 or something. So this one's the electric, you can see like the electric box or fuse box, I don't know. This one's electric, so it has like this little lever up here. You press it and it opens and closes on its own. But you can see like there's like a 1/2 inch of gap. So all the clippings and when you're mulching, all the leaves are coming out through there. So I don't recommend that one. I would go with the quick shoot. Let me see if I can go around so y'all can get a better idea. So you can see here, like it has no gap or anything. It's manual, so I don't have to worry about any electrical problems or whatnot. So I definitely recommend the quick shoot. Again, that's just my opinion from the 2 quick shoots that I've used or that I have. And then the 48 has a mulching kit for winter, and then that just works wonders. You definitely need a mulching kit for winter. It will make your life easier. And then during winter, I switch over to the 48, and then I put the 52 away. But anyways, I think that's it. I appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe. Peace.